have time to tell you a little short story about
Sure,
a
absolutely.
student?
Absolutely.
This is a COVID story. In March, which was when spring break happened in Dallas, everything just turned upside down because we're going on spring break, but then also that's the last time we're on campus, and who knew it was going to happen? So my last date at Mountain View physically was on March the 6th, I think was Friday. And we're thrust into this. Well, I had been teaching online anyway and face to face, so I'm comfortable in both. But there are a lot of my peers that had not. Then you have students. Students take face to face courses because they're more comfortable being in the room with the professor. And that's a different student than takes online. But now they're all being forced into it. Well, families lost their jobs. I mean, there were a lot of things that happened. Students lost their job. Businesses are closing. It was horrible for them. I had one student, female, who did not live in Dallas proper. I think she lived like it was an hour's drive away. And she explained, and I just wound up asking a question, she didn't come to me with a problem. I just asked a question, and her response to the question was this: that she would have to get up much earlier because there were two little ones that she had to make sure that they got to school. But then she had to drive to her sister's house, who lived in Dallas, because her sister had Wi-Fi.
Oh,
At her house, they did not have Wi-Fi. And she would get there and do her homework. And I said, what time are you leaving? She said, 5:30 in the morning. Those kinds of stories, you know, how can you not be inspired? How can you not admire someone who is that persistent, that intentional, that dedicated? And so if she's a little late with an assignment, because I was one of those on campus, I didn't take late work. This is pre-pandemic. I didn't take late work. I didn't. That was my hard line in the sand. Well, I can't do that during a pandemic. There are too many variables at this point. I've got students with their smartphones who are driving to hotspots to get on for the virtual session that I've called and try to do their homework through their phone.
yes. Oh,
And the learning management system doesn't interface well and smoothly enough for them to do that. So it's like, am I going to be a partner with a student? Which means I have a student that's leaving at 5:30 in the morning to try to get somewhere to an internet to be able to get her assignments to me. And she's not the only person in her sister's house
yeah.
that needs to do schoolwork. So she's in a line, she's like in queue. Am I going to, because it's like 2 hours over the deadline, am I going to not accept that work? Or so it's things like that. It's like that opportunity to see the human being. And then you can either be part of the success or you can be part of the acceleration of the failure.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, yes.
And so the impact of the stories of my students, not their work, but the stories that I knew about, the mother that got diagnosed with cancer and she had three little kids and she finished the semester and it was terminal. But
Oh,
she was leaving to go to Argentina because her mother had not seen the grandchildren. And she wanted her babies to see their grandmother before she died. But
oh
she came to
my
class, she never missed a class at night, never missed a class, never missed an assignment. And so the things that gives you, that's enough for me to want to continue and those are the stories that when something happens with me, if I have to have another surgery or I'm having a pity party, it's the stories from my students, especially the dreamers.
yes.
Those are the stories that I think about and I pull, and then it pulls me out of my little pity party. And it's okay to have a pity party. I give myself 24 hours. After 24 hours, nope, you got to snap out of it.
You gotta get out. You
Yeah,
gotta get out.
yeah.
Actually, that's a good segue